Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we find ourselves on the banks of the Nile to witness a match between Neromelnick playing as the purple Franks and Wisepii playing as the blue Sicilians. Now, as the players gather their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the respective civ matchup we'll be watching today. The Franks, always fun to watch this OG powerful civ, basically focuses on two things: cavalry and the throwing axeman, which is their unique unit. Now, all cavalry units come with 20% extra HP, their knight line comes with extra line of sight, and their stables can be upgraded to work 40% faster. And as I mentioned, their unique unit is the throwing axeman, a ranged infantry unit that can actually be upgraded to give it even more range. Now, to support this production of knights and throwing axemen, both of which are pretty food intensive, I would say, the Franks get all of their mill upgrades for free, and their castles cost 25% less stone. Opposing the Franks, we have the blue Sicilians, in my opinion, a much more well-rounded civ in terms of the bonuses and features. They do start the game with, take a look at the top of your screen, 100 extra stone, which is very handy because they can construct town centers and castles twice as fast as usual. And as a Sicilian player, you do want to have as many town centers as possible, at least 5, because you can then call a crusade where each town center produces 7 of their unique units, the Sergeant. Now, the Sergeant itself is a very cool unit. It's pretty middle-of-the-road infantry, but it has one cool unique feature in that it can build a donjon, which is the Sicilian unique structure. Now, what that does allow is the donjon, think of it as a crepost that you can build your unique unit out of. So the Sicilians are the only civ in the game whose unique unit can actually be built in the feudal age. Now, their infantry, their cavalry, and their archer units all take less bonus damage, which I don't really expect to come in too handy in this game because they are playing against the Franks, and their knights can be upgraded to provide more armor. Now, mill upgrades. Unlike the Frankish player who gets their mill upgrades for free, the Sicilian mill upgrades are not free, but what they do is give you twice as much food as the standard upgrade, which makes the Sicilian farms the most bountiful in the game. Now, you might think that's a pure economic advantage, but keep in mind, towards the end of the game, when your farms have 900 or more food, I think the max is 925, without any other kind of team bonuses, this means you have to reseed them far less frequently, which means you can have far fewer of these guys, which are lumberjacks, which frees up supply for army. So an economic bonus that pretty much turns itself into a military bonus. Now, let's take a look at the map itself that we'll be fighting on today. As I said, we are on the banks of what looks like the Nile River with a land bridge, pretty wide, I would say, connecting the two players. Wisepii, completely open, can easily wall off this portion of his base, but aside from that, my god, this base's positioning is open. Not to be outdone, Neromelnick is also completely open. So both players, I would say, equally disadvantaged here when it comes to situational presence on the map. And as I'm looking at this map, there are a lot of resources. Take a look at the bottom. This is a mega random map, but there's a lot of gold piles here, and there's a lot of stone as well. So I think this map is designed for large battles. We'll see. Hopefully we get to that stage. Hopefully there's no feudal age GGing anytime soon. But yeah, there's a lot of resources all over the place. I like Wisepii's resource placement. Seems to be kind of in the back and to the side, whereas our purple Frank is a little bit more disadvantaged. Almost all of his gold, with the exception of this small cache right here, is in the front. So overall, we'll see. You know, I don't know which civ here in terms of bonuses and features outdoes the other, but definitely in terms of placement of resources, I would say Nero is very much disadvantaged here. He's going to have to make sure that he defends these really well. Otherwise, Wisepii is just going to take control of this hill, and there goes half of the gold that you have accessible to you. And like I said, not only are the Frankish units food intensive, but also gold intensive. We're talking about Nightline units, and we're talking about throwing axemen. There's a lot of units that they can go for that cost a lot of gold. So we'll see how the players decide to play out their respective civilizations. Let's take a look at their scouting so far. Nero has not seen his opponent. So his scout is circling around. He initially, I guess, thought that his opponent was in the 12 o'clock position, but now he's going to go pretty south and he's going to run straight into this palisade wall. On the other hand, Wisepii has not barely even crossed the land bridge, so he's seen even less. And there we go. Neromelnick now sees it. A very exposed villager here, trying to wall herself off. We'll see if Nero gives her a chance here. Both players, as I'm talking and focusing on a dead villager, have now gone up to feudal. Both players are walling themselves in. Okay. I hope this is a prelude to a nice quick castle age. Both players sitting on roughly the same villager count, actually going up to the exact same villager count, getting the exact same double bit axe upgrades at the exact same time. So we'll take a look. Their resources are both fairly, let's put it like this. Both players are broke as a joke right now. I don't see castle in the immediate future. But let's see. Very aggressive front wall off. I mean, this is very far from the town center. And we've got a purple Frankish spearman making his way, but these villagers and this spearman and the second scout are going to shoo him away. The scout needs to run away, otherwise, he will poke at them and take away a huge amount of their HP. At the same time, two Frankish scouts, rather, find a wood line, get two juicy kills, or maybe one. I think the other one is the villager who died up here earlier in the game. And now Wisepii is out on the map. 3 spearmen, 2 scouts to the 2 scouts, 3 spearmen. So a little bit reverse here for our Frankish player. Neither one really having a massive advantage over the other, I would say, at this point. And let's take a look at their scouting now. I mean, okay, Nero sees a good chunk of the map. Yeah, Wisepii still has not really ventured. So Wisepii has no clue where his opponent is, or where his opponent will be coming from. He saw some purple units here in the south, which double back and then head back, I guess, home. Maybe to deal with these 2 spearmen. No, he's got 2 of his own that are better HP. Okay, so Nero opted to go for 4, now building a 5th scout, but he's not really accomplishing much with these, except for the 2 villager kills in the beginning. Oh god, 1 lazy purple spearman does not join the battle until very late. Let's see if that creates any kind of advantage. A 3-on-2, and they still managed to get 1. Amazing play here by Nero, who now gets chased away by Wisepii's own spearman. So a little engagements here and there. Neither player really, I would say, committing to any kind of feudal aggression at the moment. Both of them just simply building up their economies, both going up to 29 villagers. Farms going down for both. I would say we're probably going to see a quick-ish castle out of these players. Scuffle here in the center, but neither player is going, I could be wrong, but neither player here seems very interested in going, 10 plus army count in feudal. Wheelbarrow going down. I always love it when players research wheelbarrow in feudal age. It is a time intensive, food intensive upgrade. Very aggressive wall off over here, very far from anything. I mean, what's the point of this? If this palisade comes under attack, how the hell is he going to defend it? Where the hell is the closest villager? Over here? Yeah, probably would have been better off, walling off over here with a few houses for now. But I'm not going to second guess a player with 2100 Elo who has, okay, lost a scout cavalry, but now there's nothing left here to defend Wisepii's northern palisade wall. Lion joining in on behalf of Wisepii. He has recruited all the animals of the earth to help him take down his enemy Nero. And let's see who has the last laugh here. Okay, perfect spearman movement by Neromelnick. Just enough to shoo away the Sicilian scout cav, while his own cavalry... did he think there was a gap here? There is not. Okay, so they're going to tickle away at the HP now. Both players accumulating... We're starting to accumulate the food count. Our Frankish player is very far ahead. He's basically 150 food away from being going up the castle. Let's take a look at the structures he's constructed. We've got a blacksmith and a stable and nothing else. Our Sicilian blacksmith. There should be a second. I'm just gonna click on everything. There it is. Sorry. Sometimes the color schemes throw me off. I don't see the horses with the tails flickering, getting, you know, swatting flies away. So both players building the exact same structures to go up to castle. This is a very optimistic wall off. I used the word aggressive earlier. I think optimistic is the more correct word here. I'm going to correct myself. Like I said, what the hell is Nero going to do if this part of the palisade comes under attack? His closest villager is at least 3 days travel from this palisade. That being said, for now, he's patrolling it with his tiny little feudal army, and he's clicked up to castle. Not far behind, though, is our Sicilian player, literally 8 or 7 seconds difference. Okay, he's gonna have to maybe pull her from the farm. Yeah, okay. Got a big hammer in her hand, so she's gonna go fix that. No ranged units here for Wisepii, so this aggression is fairly weak and not really gonna accomplish much. Yeah, Nero pulls his 4 scouts here very wisely. I don't think he really needs them to defend here. Maybe an outpost here or there, or to the south here to make sure he has vision. But like I said, what the hell is he gonna do with his villager? Is he gonna send her all the way back to the south of his base? Yeah, shoos away the aggression. I think, like I said, neither player really interested here in expending any kind of resources or APM or, you know, anything really to stay in feudal. Amazing forging already done for our Frankish player. A pike upgrade going down for our Sicilian. He suspects that knights are going to be on the menu today. In the meantime, though, our Frank is building a 2nd town center and a 3rd town center next to the stone. Okay, perfect. 2 town centers next to stone. I wonder what that could mean. Okay, Wisepii moving out onto the map with an incredibly aggressive siege workshop. As I said, unfortunately for Nero, these stone piles, I mean, what are we looking at here? 5,600 stone. And then how many for? So 32, 56 and 32, 8,800 stone, unless my math is incorrect, of gold rather, has now been lost, at least in the immediate future, to the presence of Blue's army. And now these are pikes, so yeah, these scouts don't stand a chance. I would maybe send the scouts over to look at what the hell Wisepii is doing. They have no business engaging in any kind of castle age fights. 2nd town center, while I was yapping about palisade walls, has gone down for Wisepii. Beautiful placement. Right next to the gold, right next to the wood, lots of space for farms. Is he going to build anything? We'll keep an eye out on the siege workshop. Okay, right as I say that, he builds his first mangonel. So he's looking to tear down these palisade walls, going into the guts of Purple's base. And like I said, okay, she's going to go home, but she's going to have to turn around immediately. She's got an axe in her hand, so she's going to be a lumberjack. And yeah, I mean, now he's being attacked in multiple angles. Is our Purple Frank. Maybe spread these pikemen out instead of clumping them. But once this mangonel comes out, I mean, these... he's got to be careful not to attack his own units accidentally. And now he's going to be inside our Frankish player's base, not only in 1 spot, but potentially in 2, unless he doesn't look. And this spearman, let's see. Oh, fantastic movement here in vision by our Blue Sicilian, who is now inside the guts of Nero's base. I said I hope we don't get to see a GG in feudal. I hope we don't get to see a GG in early castle. What does our Frankish player have to defend this? He's got his own mangonel out, 2 monks, a few useless scouts, and 4 knights. But where are the knights? 2 of them are up here doing nothing. And 2 of them are now returning home, but they have to be very careful. 2 knights against 9 pike are not going to win that fight. And where's his mangonel? Okay, place his mangonel in a more defensive position. Let's see if there's an engage here. The scouts charge in like idiots, and immediately Nero notices and pulls them back wisely. Both players sitting at very similar villager count. I mean, both going to about 56, 57. And now let's see our mangonel wars. Sour, sour, sour for Nero, who has the first shot, but misses. and then pays the price. Now we've got 2 mangonels. I don't know what how I feel about 2 mangonels in the face of 5 knights. Eventually these knights are going to outnumber the pike, and at that point the pike become basically useless. That being said, but until we get to that point, how much damage will our blue Sicilian do? Okay, as I said, better uses for the scout cavalry to just leave them, but maybe put them on patrol. And Neromelnick's in a little bit of trouble here. I mean, this isn't really game ending. He, you know, how much time is he focusing on taking down one structure is giving our Purple Frank a lot of time to react, but he's not really reacting. He's building more and more villagers. Very optimistic construction of a mangonel here. I mean, maybe with the high ground, these knights could take this fight, especially now that, I mean, take a look at the HP of the pike. They're 150 HP down, but no, 3 fresh recruits come along to join the party. Now we're at 12 pike. And what the hell's he doing with these knights? He's not really doing much. Okay, a 3rd mangonel for our Sicilian. Would love to see a town center being dropped, but there's no villagers anyway. Our Purple Frank, cool as a cucumber, is spending his time collecting resources, has rebuilt the siege workshop in the back of the base. Villager count still identical, so no real advantage to our purple player, even though he's been producing villagers non-stop this entire time, although he is now going up to 78 to the 73 of our blue Sicilian. Let's see if he lands any kind of good. Oh, terrible mangonel shot. Terrible. Finally, the knights engage. We'll keep an eye on these knights and see what they can do at the 28-minute mark of the game. 5 knights. What kind of damage will you accomplish? For now, though, managed to pull back blue's mangonels entirely? Why the hell did blue run away here? I mean, did he see the construction of the castle? He did not. I'm trying to understand why blue has disengaged and is now just camping out on this hill. First castle, though, going down for our Frank player. Fantastic location. I love it. Right on the edge of the hill. King of the hill sees the entire flat ground around it, defends the farms, defends the pathways leading into the town center. Oh, take a look at the top of your screen. 18 villagers on stone for our Frankish player with that 25% off discount. Okay, unfortunately for him, does get caught out in the middle of the map. Oh, a self-own by our blue Sicilian, who guns down his own unfortunate pikeman. And like Richard the Lionheart, he drowns in the river. Although not the Nile, I don't think, or Richard. And what the hell, I'm going to zoom out. Let's take a look at the production facilities of our players. I don't see a lot of military buildings here at all. I see one of everything. Barracks, stable, and a siege workshop. Okay. I mean, blue abandoned this position, I think, a little bit early, no? Why the hell did he abandon it? I want to rewind once this game is over to around, what was it, the 29, 30-minute mark, and see why blue decided to just pack up his shit and go home. I mean, still these same pikemen, still the mangonels. But, I mean, our Frankish player, no moss growing under his ass. He is immediately in the face of our blue player, sees that this entire area is undefended, finds the one niche he can build a castle on the high ground, and does it. Fantastic play here by blue, who is now building 7 throwing axemen. They are going to tear through these structures like butter, especially with 3 mangonels of his own and 4 almost full HP knights. No, never mind. Take a look at their HP. They're at about 2/3 of their HP, but does it even matter? It seems like he's throwing axemen. He has enough stone for 1 more castle, even though he's only got 5 on stone now. And here we go. Becomes apparent why he was stalling for so long. He is going up to Imperial at the 33-minute mark of the game. A 3rd castle going down right next to the 2nd. Docks going down for our Sicilian, who is now himself going up to Imperial. So about 45 seconds behind, not the end of the world. We'll see what our Purple Frank can do with his 45-second advantage. Villager count identical at 98, although our blue Sicilian is going up to 101. Military count also identical. So this is shaping up to be a what, like one big battle here between these players. Let's see. The resource count for purple is insane. He's at 1,000 gold, 1,000 food. Our Sicilian player, nowhere near that. He's at about 1/10 of the resources, or 1/5 of the resources. I know that's a huge difference between 10% and 20%, but somewhere in between there is his resource count. Very aggressive. Siege Workshop. Let's see what our Sicilian player is working with, and kind of get a sense of where he wants to go with his army. 2 relics apiece for now. He's getting war galley upgrade. Okay. 3 barracks and 1 stable. So neither player really, you know, really producing that much at the moment. They're both sitting at around 20 military count. I'm not sure about this upgrade at all. The war galley upgrade. There's very little shorefish, very few shorefish in this game. I'm not too sure this is a wise use of resources here, but now more barracks going down. He is expecting a cavalry push, and our Frankish player is obliging. He's getting chain barding armor. He's going up to cavaliers. Chemistry also makes is going to make the castles much more powerful. How many throwing axemen? 15 throwing axemen, 16th somewhere inside the castle. Yeah, inside the castle. And as always with pro players, the player to reach Imperial first immediately pumps out a trebuchet. And I still don't know what the hell the point of building these 4 docks were. Very interesting, let's put it that way, play out of our blue Sicilian, who is now going up to 5 barracks. Another siege workshop for him. But he has given our Frank player a little bit too much leeway. Look at the military count, 32 to 20. 16 throwing axemen going up to 50 knights, which will be cavaliers in literally 10 seconds. Okay, he knows he's going to lose this castle, so immediately plops down another. Like I said, they build these twice as fast. So look at the bottom left of your screen. Look how fast 6 villagers can construct a castle. He just started. He's already at 50%. So there's that powerful Sicilian bonus feature, whatever you want to call it. And now he's coming forward with his own trebs. 1 out, 1 in production. I bet he regrets spending a single cent on these docks and on the war galley upgrade. What the hell made him do that? I have no clue. But here come the throwing axemen, splitting prematurely to attack the mangonel. I don't think they even need to do that. That mangonel is going to do bupkis to these throwing axemen, as the mangonel is doing jack shit to these halberdiers. These are not powerful units at this stage of the game. I mean, not only can your opponent dodge, which I expect to happen with these kinds of Elos, but the damage output is significantly reduced unless you can upgrade them to onagers. And in this case, neither player is... right as I say that, blue upgrades his to onagers. I was going to say neither player is doing that, although blue really should. Given the fact that he's going up against ranged units and doesn't really have a response to them at the moment, since he's built entirely barracks. An amazing play here by purple. 19 cavaliers. We will keep an eye on those guys for sure. See what kind of trouble, mischief they get into. A cannon galleon is going to destroy these trebs. I love it. And now the throwing axemen are coming. I'm going to zoom out, see the entire theater of war. Okay, he's giving up positioning here in the center is our purple Frank player to attack the flank of blue's base. Although blue, look at the speed of the castle. Oh my god. With this many villagers, what did that take, like 5 seconds? He tried to wall off, unfortunately did not get that house up in time. Repositions his halberdiers. But those halbs are going to melt in the face of how many throwing axemen? 31! He needs an answer to these. And the answer is not 1 militia. I love when they click so furiously. I assume that they click so furiously that they accidentally hit a certain button and it produces the most useless unit in the game. A 4th castle going down for our purple Frank against the 2 of our blue Sicilian, who still does not have an answer to these throwing axemen, although he is building 3 onagers. But the second he builds that, what the hell is he going to do against 23 Cavaliers and 10 Light Cavs? They are going to pull his halbs completely out of position here. And here they come. Did I see another dock? Okay, he's... More upgrades for ships. What the hell is he doing? Okay, big engage here in the middle. Onager shot to the face. But how weak are even Onagers, I guess? I thought the Onagers would do a lot more damage. They did not. Still working with 29 throwing axemen, 4 trebuchets. Cavaliers ravaging the north of the base. We'll put an in-game screen to watch their action. Okay, but 2 Onagers. 1 Onager. It's like that scene in History of the World Part 1 of Mel Brooks when Moses comes down from the mountain with 3 tablets and he says, "Yay, God has given me these 15." And then he drops 1 tablet and then he looks at his hands and he sees 2 and he goes, 10 commandments. Right as I said, 2 Onagers, 1 gets gunned down, and here comes the cavalry. They're going to make quick work of these Onagers, although they will pay the price. Suicide Squad Cavaliers over here heading face first into a forest of halbs. Throwing axemen, unfortunately for purple, we're way too far behind, although I think he doesn't really care too much. He got the job done, and now the base is open. Now it is wide. It is juicy for raiding, especially by these tanky Frankish Cavaliers. 144 HP instead of the usual 120, so that's 24 extra HP. 1 extra halb shot needed to kill them, or halb poke. Oh no, catches 2 more Onagers here, does Nero. Okay, managed to get a Treb here. Does he have another cannon galleon? No, he does not. I cannot for the life of me understand why he chose to invest so much wood into you know, water units, water-based unit. I mean, maybe if he went demolition, he could cordon this area off, create a complete dead zone here with his demolition, and then back them up with maybe some Onagers. But I mean, wise move to GG. He was being ripped apart. His army count is literally half of his opponents, even though take a look at his resources. 1,000 gold, 2,300 food, 2,200 wood. Let's zoom out. Why? Yeah, okay, I'm starting to understand. 3 siege workshops is good. 7 barracks. Unfortunately for him, all of his production is in this tiny square that I'm highlighting on your screen right now. His entire military industrial complex is right here, and this whole part of the map was just lost. So he has 42 throwing axemen bearing down on him, while his entire army has been pulled to the side here. Look at these halbs. They don't know which direction to go. Okay, he's clumped up his villagers here in the back. He's completely out of wood. Lots of gold, though. And where can he go for wood? I mean, this wood line looks good, but how many villagers can you even fit here? What, like 20? 25? What are you going to do with the rest? You have to send them all the way out here. They are going to be super exposed. You can't send them here anymore. I think he just spent way too much wood on his shipbuilding exercise here. That being said, 2,200 wood is plenty to build more town centers. He could have called a crusade where, like I said, each one of these town centers would spawn 7 sergeants. And as I said, they're middle of the road infantry, but they can get the job done against throwing axemen and maybe even against cavaliers, especially when you got, how many town centers does he have right now? 4. He would have had 28 extra units if he had researched that, if he had, you know, researched and paid for the crusade. I don't know what to call it, an upgrade, a technology, a feature, a bonus. What exactly is it? No clue. Feel free to comment below. Let's take a look at the stats. In the meantime, 68 throwing axemen, not terrible. 94 halbs, 128 APM to 112. So a fairly relaxed game, I would say, between these two players. Look at the villager kill count, though, for Nero. 40 villagers killed, 123 overall. Wisepii has killed 96 of Nero's soldiers, rather 92, and 4 villagers himself. Yeah, and this is the advantage. You know, when you set the pace of the game, when you're the one thrusting into your opponent, and you've established yourself, like with a castle here, 4 trebuchets, and a shit ton of throwing axemen or whatever unit, whatever civ you're playing. The bottom line is, if you're dictating the pace of the game, you can do shit like this, where you go out onto the map completely undefended and your opponent can't do anything. I mean, build a transport ship and bring some units to harass here maybe, but there's no other crossings. This is literally one area where the players can cross into each other's base, and that area is controlled completely by Neromelnick, our Purple Frank, who takes the W, and GG to both players. Sorry, everyone. Postscript. I did say I wanted to go back and see why the hell Blue retreated from this hilltop. What did I say, around the 28-minute mark of the game? Let's just rewind here. I'm very curious to see why he abandoned this position here. Every time I rewind, it always reminds me of the scene from Ace Ventura, where he does the reverse "put me in, coach" reverse football play. Plus, it's always fun to look at the mini map, all the little dots flying around, little like little ants flying around in an ant farm. Okay, so we're getting close. The university was being built. Okay. So at this point of the game, he still had his pikemen out on in the map. And let's see why the hell he decided to retreat. He did not see the castle. I think we highlighted his vision. He didn't see it. Okay, so we're at the 28-minute mark. He's knocking down the front door of Nero's base with 12 pike and 3 mangonels. Nero, at the same time, is doing what? Nothing in the north. And attacking here with some knights. Sorry, I'm going to pause for 1 sec. I'm going to hold down the vision of our blue Sicilian player. So right now, the only aggression at home is these knights, which he is staving off with a whole bunch of houses. So let's zoom out and see. He sees the one. I'm going to play it in slow-mo. Okay, the one mangonel gets a shot. Should kill that mangonel. Yeah, perfect. Should tickle away at the HP of this one. So he knows that mangonel isn't dead. But he's retreating. Was this really enough? Was this really the reason he retreated? Because 5 knights and a scout cavalry were knocking down some palisade walls? That can't be it. Okay, we have these scouts attacking here, but I mean, they attack on a 6, and this structure has 2100 HP, so good luck trying to kill that structure anytime soon. That should not have worried him at all. This may be a little concerning, but you've managed to block it off with houses. I don't understand. If anyone who watches this video has a theory as to why our blue Sicilian retreated at the 28-minute mark, he did not see that castle. So why did he just stop his aggression? Was he trying to focus more here? And because he was trying to focus here, he didn't want to accidentally take a mangonel shot to the face over here? I mean, that's the only explanation I can think of. He was so busy microing here that out of an abundance of caution for the safety of his units, he just pulled them all back. And then he took another mangonel shot to his pike here, which scared him off even more, so he retreated even more and then abandoned this entire position. I don't get it. If you guys get it, somebody please do let me know. But like I said, what a fun game to watch. Gotta love throwing axemen anytime you see them. I wish we had gotten to see a crusade, although I'm sure we'll get to see plenty as the as my casts keep going and I, cast more and more Sicilian games. They're always fun. A lot of cool donjon drops and town center drops and all these cool features available. Like I said, it's the more well-rounded Civ in my opinion when compared to the Franks. But as I said, GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.